on LinkedIn and people believed me.
Yes. Well, people will believe anything these days.
Yeah, fuck.
Let me just get myself set up. Have you got a nice cup of tea?
Yep.
Right, I'm set up. I had a fantastic conversation with Gwen last week.
Oh, great. Yes. Yes. Good.
Absolutely amazing. She was so interested in Russia.
Mm.
And
She loves Russia.
yes, well, I was talking about my visit to Siberia some years ago.
Yeah, but those children, the school children, that's a fascinating story.
Yeah.
Absolutely fascinating story.
Well, we got on really well.
Good.
And she does come to London quite a few times to the
Yep,
UK.
she has been a couple of times.
It'd be wonderful to meet up with some people when they come over.
Yep.
Yeah. We got 2 minutes before the container, David.
Great. How's how's it all going?
With regards to recovery coaching, there's a
Recovery
meeting.
coaching's Project Six.
Project
Um,
6 is flying.
good.
Within Doncaster, more so than Keighley or Sheffield, we've got, here we come, the Keighley lot. We have a lot more scope to be imaginative and creative.
Wonderful.
So we take on a lot of new projects. We give it a try. If it works, we carry on with it. Um, and there was an amazing session yesterday called The Reader, where I facilitate a session on a text that is so powerful with recovery. Might need to speak to you about it one day.
Well, talk now.
I don't know how to put it in words. Hello, Charlie. Can hear me.
Testing, Mike, 1, 2.
Hi, Tony
Hi.
T,
Hello,
Vicky and
Tony.
team.
Hello. We're having problems with our camera at the moment.
That's
Yeah,
all right.
we can hear you.
Everything's normal. I mean, it says stop video, but it's not. It's not showing up for some reason.
Okay.
But we're here. We're here.
Okay. Right. Well, we got about 30 seconds left. Charlie looks exhausted. He's huffing and puffing there.
He's changed his location.
Yeah.
But
So
he's
have
changed
I.
the angle of his chair.
I've changed my location, Charlie. I thought I'd be a bit more comfortable today rather than a bar stool.
Right. 10 o'clock. Let's go.
Go.
Tony, are you there? Would you like to build the container?
No, I'm all right, thank you.
All right. Vicky, would you like to build the container?
I'm all right, thank you.
Tom, would you like to build the container?
Not really, no.
All right. Okay, I'll build the container. All right, everyone. Let's start with the check-in. David, check in. I've got we'll do a bit of a pies check-in. Pies is physically, intellectually, emotionally, spiritually, and socially. Yeah. So I check in physically. I've got a bit of butterflies in my stomach.
Yeah.
And that's because I've got some anxiety around my role in the workplace and working with people within the organization and just trying to juggle stuff. So that's impacting me emotionally. Spiritually, I'm following my path, whatever that is, as it unfolds in front of me, and trying not to get crippled by the seven deadly sins of pride, lust, envy, gluttony, wrath, sloth, and
Hubris.
no, hubris was hubris. I can't remember what the other one was at the moment. Gluttony. Did I say gluttony?
You said gluttony. That was one of the first.
Oh, okay.
We'll come back to that, David.
Lust.
No, he said lust.
Oh God. All right.
I think you got all set.
Hey, there's Tony. Welcome.
Hey.
Yep. And socially, it's really nice to connect with you all here. I'm so pleased Branka's here. We've got Croatia in the house.
Fantastic.
Branka, yeah, you look amazing, love. What have you done to your hair?
I wash this morning.
Oh, you washed your hair. Okay, cool.
No, I cut. I don't know. I cut the hair, but not today. It's 2 months ago.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you got a good hairdresser. Okay. So, yeah, that's my check-in, and I'll tag, who shall I tag? Let's tag David Wright.
So we're doing a
Just a bit of a pies check-in.
pies. Okay. Okay, checking in physically. Physically, I'm feeling good. I've been eating a little bit too much, way too much sugar, so I'm put on a bit of weight, but physically I'm well. Intellectually, cheapers. I am currently grappling isn't the word. I guess reflecting is the word. You know, I'm looking at people like Tony Robbins. You know, I follow him and the questions he asks, 5 fundamental questions, and one of them is you know, who are you in business? And he had 3 different types of people. He talked about the artist, the skilled producer with the talent, then there's the manager leader, and then there's the entrepreneur and risk taker. And I'm kind of wondering, you know, whether there's an element of each of those in me, but I'm just reflecting on that. So from an intellectual point of view, I'm feeling stimulated. Also thinking about things. I haven't even finished my bloody business plan. I'm thinking about employee stock options and things like that. So yeah, I'm feeling challenged intellectually, which is always a good thing, I think. And I've also recently come across a practice, it's called the psychology of hope, psychosynthesis or something like that. I read about it for the first time yesterday, and that's got me kind of thinking about stuff. So intellectually, very well, lots to think about. Emotionally, I'm checking in. Yeah, I'm calm. It's nice that it's holiday season. The weather's beautiful here in Cape Town. I've just done 2 private shuttles to town and back, so I've hit my income target for the day, which makes me feel good.
Yeah.
So emotionally, I'm good. Socially, I'm doing okay. I got to continue to make effort with making appointments with people and going out and doing things. I think I've been doing that fairly well of late. So socially, I'm feeling good. I feel connected. And spiritually, I'm just feeling really excited, I guess, with respect to a whole bunch of information I've recently come across regarding another UK charity called the Spiritual Companions Trust. And I'm actually attending one of their things they're having on Saturday. The director, William, I forget his surname now, but now I'm coming across all of these different organizational entities, the Shift Network, and then the Spiritual Companions Trust, and I'm wanting to engage with either of them or both of them to see whether they know each other. So spiritually, I'm feeling exhilarated. I'm in my center, and it's holidays, and there's lots going on, and so I'm checking in very well. Sorry for that very long check-in, but it was authentic as it could be. And I tag Bruno.
Morning, Bruno. We're doing a pies check-in, so quite quickly, physically, intellectually, emotionally, spiritually, socially, spiritually, socially, whatever. Go for it, Bruno.
All right. Greetings to everyone. I am checking in feeling anxious. I didn't pick everything you talked about, so that is how I'm checking in. I don't know whether everyone has already checked in, but let me tag Michael.
Hi, Bruno. Thank you. Physically feeling very strong, believe it or not, after a bit of ill health. So physically very strong. Intellectually, I'm hoping that this group will plug any gaps that I'm lacking with my intellect. Usually do. Emotionally, not quite sure where I am emotionally. Up and down, in and out, inside out, for various reasons. Socially, very strong. A lot of groups that I attend. I enjoy the social company. And spiritually, I feel at peace with that. Thank you. And I will tag Charlie.
Thank you, Michael. Really, physically, intelligently, emotional, spiritually, and social, I'm doing really well in all of them. Oh, sorry, that's just my phone. Probably the one that's mostly concerning me is my physicality, actually. Pride is getting in the way because I broke my back 4 years ago in a drink. Driving that I caused. Every year or so, my back prevents me from walking, and I'm going through one of those periods at the moment. And I'm trying not to let it. I'm trying not to let it affect me as much as when it's affecting me. And I'm not letting anyone know that my back is as much pain as what it is. So pride is definitely center of that. But emotionally, physically, spiritually, and socially, I'm in such a good place. And I will tag Tony, Vicky, and Tom.
Choice, Charlie.
Hello. Yeah, physically, I'm okay. I'm all good. Getting my steps in. Intellectual. I looked at your manual the other day and I've condensed it all down into mostly like relevant stuff. There's still like 30 pages, but I've condensed it down for each one of us here. Emotionally, bit shit because it's Christmas and I hate Christmas. And spiritual, don't really do spiritual. Only spiritual I did were when I did spirits back in the day, so I can't really. That's me. And Vicky or Tom?
Right, yeah, physically, yeah, I'm doing all right. Intellectually, I'm learning new things every day. Emotionally, this time of year is not really good for me, but I'm getting there. And spiritually, I don't really do much spiritually, so yeah. Tom?
Hi, physically I'm alright. I've got a bit of heartburn, which is unpleasant, but alright. And intellectually, keen to learn. And emotionally, I feel quite calm, which is good. And socially, I've just started my job yesterday and been feeling very welcomed into the team by other people.
Wonderful.
Yeah. That's me, yeah.
That's us.
Yeah, great. I guess you're going to tag Branca.
Yeah, we will do.
Thank you. I checked physically. I feel tired. I little bit lost my weight. It's up and down. So because I take some therapy and because of that, I have that balance when I feel okay and the moment I'm tired. So intellectually, I try to lots, but put my energy to do something, be occupied, and yes, develop my intellectual. I don't know in English intellectually, yeah, to be better. So emotionally up and down. In one day, my emotionally change a lot of time and be happy to be so sad and angry, and so this socially not so good. I have a couple of friends and something. I do voluntary things, so I make socializate how much I can. And spiritually, it's try to be present and make yoga, and but it's last 1 month. It's not so easy, but yeah, this is me. This is my checking, and I take who?
So Bruno wants to go again. Thank you, Branka. Bruno, you want to go again?
Yeah, I want to go again. I'm sorry, David caught me off guard, but now I'm on guard. Physically, I'm feeling quite well because I've been feeling sick for the past days, but now I'm recovering. Intellectually, I feel I'm doing fairly. Emotionally, I'm anxious. Socially, I'm doing good because my network and my connection with different people is growing by the day. And spiritually, I feel good because I really feel I have a good relationship with my God. So that is my detailed check-in.
Right. All right. So what I'd like to do is just I'd just like us to touch on spirituality for a bit quickly. Yep. That and there's often a lot of confusion between spirituality and religion. So religion is a practice, a way of doing something to help people connect to spirituality or to spiritual principles. Yeah, but the spiritual principles are honesty, open-mindedness, willingness, faith, trust, acceptance. There's lots of spiritual principles. Yeah. Now, people can get caught up in the dogma of religion and thinking that that's the way to spirituality, where it's not. So you can be a Christian, a Muslim, a Jew, an atheist. Yep, not even believe in something and still act with spiritual principles. So a spiritual principle that I'd like us to talk about is honesty. Yep. And you get two types of honesty. Yep. You get the honesty that I'm talking to myself and I'm being honest with myself about something. And then you get the honesty that you tell the outside world. So, for example, in the world of addiction and recovery, somebody might say to me, David, do you want to drink? And I'll go, no, I won't. I don't want to drink. But inside, I really do want to drink, but I can't tell that person because they're unable to hear my honesty. Does that make sense? Yeah. And as coaches, well, in our recovery wellness program, the foundation of that program is spiritual principles, because this work does not work unless someone has the ability to have some honesty with themselves and want to kind of live a life that gives them meaning and purpose and motivation. Yep. It's very difficult to get somebody motivated to do something that they don't want to do. I'll be back in 1 second. Charlie, take over.
Oh, yes, I will. I will take over, David. Thank you. Right, so this is all about me, guys. I shall see you all later. Does anybody want to add in to what David was saying about the spiritual principles? Does anybody have anything?
I'm grateful to hear them, Charlie. I need to go and find out and test my intellectual ability by finding out what those are, what those principles are, so that I'm clear about it. Because I think that's a fantastic tool to use in recovery coaching, particularly the check-in, the way that we did the check-in. Because it asks some very specific questions, such as physicality, which we don't normally address, and spirituality, about that honesty. And it's quite right, for me anyway, the understanding that if we're honest with ourselves, then that can provide the motivation to pursue and maintain recovery. So personally, I was very grateful for that introduction. Thank you, David.
I'd love to add to that, if I may. Thanks, Charlie. Yeah, honesty it's actually one of the 5 core values that my organization subscribes to. And me personally, I've been fascinated with it as a principle. Going back to the start of my recovery, it was 12 steps, it was Big Book and AA, chapter 5. And I always remember those who cannot get well or those who have the inability to be honest with themselves. And I very much relate to what David said about I can be honest with myself internally, but externally, I might be challenged with respect to being honest about something for whatever reason. Real authenticity to me is about being honest with myself. And then when somebody asks me about the same stuff, I would be able to, without any kind of ill feeling towards myself or anyone else, be able to say my truth or speak my truth. But what I do find quite interesting at times is to know accurately really what's going on for me at some point in time. And so in not being able to know what's going on for me, I'm not necessarily being honest. So yeah, I find it a very powerful spiritual principle. And I know that, or I believe
David,
that,
if you don't know something is going on for you, are you being dishonest? If you're just not aware of it. So, for example, somebody might be drinking themselves to death, but they don't realize that they're drinking themselves to death. And they've found all sorts of ways of justifying it in a way that protects them.
That's a really good question. I don't believe the person is being dishonest. I mean, you get into all of that 12-step dishonesty by omission stuff, But
Yeah,
if it's
that's not
a light of consciousness, then you don't know about it. You don't know about it. I might have beliefs that are sitting in my subconscious mind that I'm actually not aware of consciously, which are determining the way my life unfolds. So short answer, David, I don't believe the person's being dishonest. No, they don't know about it. They're not aware of it.
Okay, so how do we have compassion then with someone that doesn't know that they're being dishonest?
By putting yourself in their shoes, because that was probably a life that I had lived most of my life, where dishonesty was just part of my makeup. But I didn't realize how, at the very end, I didn't know where the lies ended and the truth began. So because of the years of abuse and because of the years of neglect, and manipulation, when I'm speaking to sponsees and people in recovery, I most of my time I put myself in their shoes. Because when they are talking about, like, they may not have had a drink that day, and you can ultimately see when they've had a drink or whatever it is, that's where I get my compassion from. I don't know if that's answered your question, David.
Michael?
The question was, can you be compassionate towards somebody who's being dishonest? Is that the question?
Honestly, I can't remember.
Okay, I think it was. I think it was. My point was that compassion comes from within myself, irrespective of where the other person is. So they may be dishonest in whichever way we may interpret it, but my compassion could still go out to them because it talks about, it relies upon respect, kindness, integrity. And if somebody is being dishonest, there may be reasons why they are dishonest because they don't want to show the outside world. So I feel that you can. I feel that I could be compassionate to somebody.
So you can be compassionate with somebody that's lying to you.
Yes, I think I
All right.
could.
Okay, great. So now I just want to slow it down a bit. When I asked Tony, Vicky, and Tom if they wanted to do the check-in, all three of them said no, thank you. They were very honest about the fact that no, fuck off, David, we don't want to do this. Yeah. Now, for me, that was a good sign that they're bringing their authentic selves to it and just saying, no, this isn't for us. They were being very honest in like, no, thank you, we don't want to do that. For me, that feels good. Yep. Now, on the one hand, I want to stretch people because I honestly believe people can do better. Yeah, that people are brilliant. I believe in people, and it's often the faith that I have in people. I'd often have faith in people before they have faith in themselves. Does that make sense? Like, so honestly, my faith in Charlie, yep, enables me to push him in a way. But I've got to be cautious about pushing him too much. And then he gets overwhelmed and goes, oh, fuck it, I can't do this. And it's important in the coaching relationship. So you meet a client where they're at and you have a conversation that instills a sense of hope. So Charlie kind of goes, wow, hopefully one day I can do this job as a career. Yep. And he's started to make changes. Yep. With Bruno, his hope is, I hope one day I can build this school. Yeah. And that inspires hope. And is this making sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So are we having a religious conversation here or a spiritual conversation?
Well, we're not talking about dogma, so I believe it's a spiritual conversation, of which elements of religion could come in if we so wanted.
Okay, Bruno, what do you think?
To me, we are having a spiritual conversation because something which is religious to me, it is different. To me, religion is more or less an organization which has its policies, what we call doctrines, and sometimes religion and spirituality don't connect, because I feel spirituality is more personal and religion is more attached to a certain group of people who have come together and put together some doctrines and policies and how they are supposed to behave. So I feel this conversation is spiritual, not on the religious side of it.
Okay. So the organization that we're building here, yeah, that has policies, procedures, doctrines, all that, does that make us a church? Are we a religion here?
No.
How do you know we're not a religion?
More of a sect.
A cult.
I I can't say what differentiates you from a religion. I can say a religion is like, this is what we have, this is what you are supposed to follow. If you cannot follow it, then you are not among us. But what we have here is, this is what guides us. If you understand it well, you can follow it, or you can bring your idea, or you can tell us how you want things to be done. I feel like this community is more open. It is not a closed community. That is how I feel about it.
So what are the guiding principles of this community of practice?
I may not use the exact words, but in my understanding, the principles, I can say, first of it all is like supporting people who feel they want to move from the culture of addiction to the culture of recovery.
Okay,
And
so
in
one of our principles is focusing on recovery.
Yeah.
Does the container agree?
Yes.
Yeah, like we're coming here to focus on using coaching, education to create solutions for recovery.
Correct.
Yes.
Is there consensus here? Okay, keep going, Bruno.
Yeah, another thing I see like a principle is when you are coaching someone, you don't tell them what to do.
Okay.
You just support them to create the solutions. You just move along with them. You don't show them you are supposed to go in this direction.
Okay, so the agenda comes from the coachee.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we don't say, okay, Bruno, come along now, you're going to get baptized and we're going to do this. Yeah, it's okay, keep going, Bruno.
And what I can say is also another principle is respect.
Okay.
There is a day we were discussing about maybe if you get a client who belongs to a different religion or a different faith, you are not supposed to tell the person, no, you are not supposed to be a Muslim. That's why you are facing challenges. Become a Christian. No, we are supposed to respect each other's like where we should understand that we belong in different communities and cultures and religions. So we must have respect for one another.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyone? Keep going then, Bruno, if you want.
This next one, I don't know whether it can also lie among the principles, but like when we are doing coaching, we need to be open in time frame, because you cannot schedule that in a month. You must have moved from the culture of addiction to the culture of recovery. That is the timeline. If you don't do it in a month, then no one can help you. You are wasted, you know? Like, to me, it's kind of open. Okay. Yeah, in terms of timeline. Because we are different people, I may recover in a month, the other person may recover in a year or two.
Okay. I suppose. No, let's hear from Tony.
Okay.
Well done, Bruno. That's fantastic. You can carry on if you want, but let's hear from Tony for a bit.
I think principles correlate to our values as well, and I think having a spiritual conversation, it don't have to have all to do with religion or anything. It's just about meeting people where they're at. People can come in and be kind of dishonest, every single day, people who we work with. And it's about, I put it in chat, it's about like meeting people where they're at and instill hope to change, and got to have a good open door policy and respect everyone else's opinions and values and empathise, compassion, and just work with everybody. Yeah. And you can have a spiritual conversation without all the yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Tom?
I agree with Tony. I don't really have anything to add, to be honest.
So, Tom, as you've started your new role,
Yeah.
what spiritual principles have you had to practice?
Honesty, respect.
Honesty, yeah. Also, courage.
Hope as well. Hope's a good one.
Yeah.
Hope and courage. Yeah. I hope I can do the job, and I hope I don't get fired.
Yeah.
I think as well, you have to carry a lot of hope in recovery as well, because you hope people can change their ways into a better way of life, because we see a lot of people who are down and out and they're vulnerable. So you carry a lot of hope every single day. You carry that hope every single day, and you're like hoping people get well, and that's why we do this job, because it's we've got lived experience and it's in our heart. If that makes sense.
So your passion in your heart, you're hoping that somebody can do better.
Yeah.
And this is just a kind of a psychological safety mechanism. We have high hopes, but low expectations.
Yeah, exactly.
And one of the things I struggle with as a coach is staying grounded in the center. So
I'm not getting angry as well. Not getting angry as well, and
tolerance, patience, acceptance,
meeting people where they're at.
Forgiveness.
Forgiveness and not judging. Not judging's a big one as well.
Charlie just did an undercover yawn there. He kind of went like this. But actually, he was just yawning.
He's only tired because he's not the one talking.
That's good awareness.
So Branka at least switches off her screen to yawn. Goes, what are these people on about? Okay. All right. So as coaches, you always want to read the container as well. Yeah. And that yawn's got me going now.
Good.
What are you trying to say about my talking? I start talking and everyone starts yawning.
Yep, there goes Bruno. He's yawning behind his head.
Oh dear me!
I'm leaving. I'm going. I've had enough.
Okay.
Where's your compassion?
Where's your empathy?
Yeah.
All right. So let's just take a. I just want to acknowledge on this call. Yeah, we've got Croatia, Uganda, South Africa, and the UK. I think that's pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty diverse, and that there's common spiritual principles that are running through our different cultures. Branka, would you like to come in?
I was on the telephone. I'm sorry. So
That's absolutely fine, Branka. Don't worry about it.
for me, about spiritually, we're talking about.
Anything you want to talk about, love.
Now you cut me in the moment that I don't.
So I was saying that on the call we've got Croatia, Uganda, South Africa, and England. We got 4 different countries that would have very diverse cultures, but there's a unity amongst us that's coming together as humans using spiritual principles. Yep. So I would say there's tolerance here. Yeah. And I also just want to acknowledge, Branka, that English is your 3rd language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's Croatian, Italian, and then English. Yep. And I just by mentioning that, I hope there's a bit of humility that comes into the container for the people whose English is their first language. Yeah. So, Branka, feel free to talk about spiritual principles in Croatian if you wanted.
No.
No.
Yeah, so nothing come on my mind for now, for the moment, at the moment.
What a question.
Please do it in Croatian, please.
I don't understand so well that spiritually, so try to understand better what does that mean in for a coaching conversation. So that's okay if what I heard until now to be tolerance, don't judge, be present, listen. I don't know, try to get some connected with another person, talking about maybe at the beginning how it's his valued and how he would that another person looking see the world around. So I don't know, maybe the first the first touch to be try to connect with. I lose. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Something loading my whiteboard. Okay. Yeah. Some with this.
So I've just loaded up a whiteboard, Branka,
Okay.
and to illustrate what I'm kind of talking about, because can everyone see the whiteboard?
Yes.
Yep. Okay. So here we are as the coach.
For me, it's loading because it's my laptop. It's very slow, so maybe
Okay.
you can continue it.
All right. So here you are as a coach, and you think about, let's see how this works. You think about spiritual principles. Yep. And then here you have the coachee. Yep. And here you have your relationship with them. Okay. So the coachee is being dishonest. Yeah, maybe they're aware of it, maybe they're not aware of it, doesn't matter. But you know that they're being dishonest. Yeah. How do you behave in a way that's going to improve the relationship between you and the client, that the relationship moves towards a culture of recovery? Does that make sense? Does the question make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. So for me, when somebody's lying to me and I know they're lying, I need to practice tolerance, acceptance, patience, unconditional love, forgiveness, a lot to myself. Yep. And sometimes I'm too scared to confront the client because I don't want to upset them. So sometimes a client can ask me something and then I'm dishonest because, so they might say, "Are you angry with me?" And I go, no, I'm fine. Because the bloke's like 7 foot tall, built like a brick shithouse, and I'm scared to be honest with him because he might punch me. Because I'm scared of the emotion, anger. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes, that makes sense.
Yep. So we got spiritual principles and then we've got the emotions. Anger, sadness, fear, joy, guilt, and shame. And those feelings come into me all the time. So physically, I will feel these things. Physically, I checked in with fear. I checked in with fear because one of my colleagues, was feeling a lot of anger. And then there was anger in our relationship. Is this making sense?
Yep.
Okay. So let's discuss this. I'm going to stop the share. How do I stop the share?
Fantastic draw, David. Fantastic drawing. You ever thought of taking it up full time?
Thank you, Charlie. Thank you.
Honestly, that's me lying.
Yes, I noticed. Listen, if I'm honest, I really just wanted to try out my new laptop and then
Yes.
I've got a drawing on the
I
screen.
thought that.
But it should give you a representation of what we're trying to do. Yeah.
Might it be a case of where the coachee is coming from, whether they
Tell us what you're feeling, Michael.
what am I feeling?
Yeah, just tell us. So don't start, might it be? Just say it how it is. In my
just pondering.
experience.
When I say might it be, I'm just trying to get it clear in my head, I suppose. That the clientee may arrive at us directly. They identify that they wish to pursue this themselves, or they might have been directed. If they are coming to this themselves, already they may have made up their mind that they want to recover from whatever it is they want to recover from, whereas others may feel that they're forced to undertake coaching, which would have a big difference in the success or the way in which the emotions run within me as a coach. So to determine how they arrived at this situation for me would be quite important.
So let's ask that question to the container. Yeah. What brings you here today? How did you get here? Let's go with Charlie.
Oh, that drawing was lovely, David. Honestly, it was stunning. What brings me here today is the more that I delve into my recovery and the culture of addiction to the culture of recovery, the more intrigued I get. I was listening to Leanne's podcast. Leanne was on a podcast, and I was listening to it on Saturday night, and she talks about this courageous conversation in the coaching, in the in the coaching and the client, this courageous the conversation that takes part. And when I seen you do that, man, drawing there, and what I got, man, from this is that courageous conversation that we know if someone's lying, then we need to be courageous, and that's not to front up the line, but to be empathetic and be there, man, with the client and take them on this courageous conversation, hopefully that they then start to see whatever they start to see, because it's their agenda. We're just there to, I don't mean we're there to have this courageous conversation that I think I'm just very much at the start of learning about all this, and that's what keeps bringing me to these containers, because I just keep getting these wee glimmers of like light bulbs, and these wee glimmers of like hope, and these conversations, and the willingness to show up the surrender that I had at the start of my recovery. And yeah, I keep on showing up because the more that I do it, the more intrigued I get. And I'm really interested in this courageous conversation. So thanks, David.
How were you before when you heard about this and you started the journey?
Before I heard of Imalni, or before.
Yeah. Just before you came to the class and just before the class started, how was your thinking? Because I remember you being, oh fuck, what am I doing here? What's this about? I don't want to be here. I met you with your resistance.
Yeah, I was really disillusioned. I'd been disillusioned with the 12-step program for some time. I was finding I was finding my spiritualness that I found in the 12-step month program was really waning. And it was waning because I just wasn't meeting people like me anymore. I went into a 12-step program and I had, and my first time in my life, I had met my tribe and I called them my tribe. But I was starting to feel extremely lonely because there was no one that I perceived had the freedom that the spiritual principles had given me. And I just still felt that the more that, because I simply didn't know this, the more that I was going into AA, the more that I was sitting in problems, that I was sitting in other people's problems. And I believe that the more that I sit in a problem, the more that I was becoming in a problem. And I was really nearly in the cuffs of leaving AA Monastery. And then I found Malni and I found yourself. Well, I believe that yours found me. And it reignited my recovery because then I found different paths to recovery that I didn't simply know existed. And because I found different paths, it opened up my recovery. And that's what it's done today, actually. And this week I'm learning about these courageous conversations that even before I came into Malney and I started to learn about recovery coaching, I was still very much people pleasing. I was still like, terrible at saying no. And and I feel like the more that I come into this coaching element, the more that I'm learning about myself first and foremost. And if I can learn more about myself, it means then ultimately I can then help the clients or the person man in front of me, and we can have this conversation. I can to facilitate this conversation, because what I have learned through this in my process as well, that I might not frap from here. I was still frapping from in here, even though I might be listening to you. I'm still with buses in here. I'm still playing with buses. So the first thing that I've learned actually here is to really silence my head and concentrate on each and every single person that's speaking. And for me, that's been difficult at the start. And that's one of the reasons why I keep on showing up, because I know that if I keep showing up, keep adding the discipline to and show up, the more that I'm learning. Yeah, I hope that all made sense. I just went on one there, didn't I? I love it. I just go on it.
So what I love about what you said, Charlie, what it illustrates is how you can walk with a client when they're really resistant in the beginning, and then move down the road, and then it changes. Yeah. And the success of kind of coaching is walking with that person, holding them in the process. Branka's been with us for a year now. Hey, Branka.
Yep.
Yeah. How, if you reflect on this past year, how have you changed?
I don't know how I change, but how I feel at the moment when I start come here, this container or with our group. For me, it's some like of kind of very important. Well, now I don't know. My brain is for the moment frozen, so it doesn't come the word. So I have. I'm angry what happened like this, so I try to think what I need to say, and nothing come. It's like wall, and so I still have problem with that, and that at the moment makes me lots of anger and sadness and all kind of emotion. So yeah, and I think in myself where it comes the day that when I can say what I feel with not effort, not thinking like so yeah. Yeah, this is this. So and okay, and I'm sure that here that helps me a lot in my progress to talk about, try to relax, and for that how Charlie said, I still coming in and put myself. Sometimes I don't say nothing. Sometimes it's difficult. So, but I have feel that I'm on good way, and that give me hope, and I feel good when I get a moment that I can spoke without some block, and yeah, so it's almost most of time I must say that happened with time in my container with David Bright, and for example, he helps me a lot about that. Because when I talk something, sometimes I miss my words, so he always understand and repeat what it was my thinking, and that makes me feel so good. So yeah, and I'm so grateful for that. So yeah. It's this.
Wonderful, Branka.
Somebody, somebody is bill on my bill. Swana, somebody is on my door.
Okay, no problem, no problem. Go answer your door. All right. Tony, Vicky, and Tom, you want to add something to the container?
Yeah, I just think it's been a good one in terms of knowing that I can have a conversation spiritually without being like too spiritual, if that makes sense. Yeah, that's about it really. It's been a good session today. I've enjoyed it. No, they've gone quiet. They don't want to add something. Yeah, thank you.
The three of you okay to kind of coach each other around spirituality and what it means for yourselves?
Yeah, we'll definitely have a conversation about it.
Okay, whatever that looks like, yeah? All right. Do you, the three you want to check out now?
Yeah, as I say, we're all good. Looking for. Can you send David? Can you send us how many hours we've got left to do in terms of online stuff?
Listen, I've just spoke to management. You have to do this for 3 years every week.
That's fine by me. That's fine by me, mate. Honestly.
Okay, so it's 20 hours.
Yeah.
How
If you've
many of
got-
these have you attended?
It varies between the four of us.
Yeah, okay, so we're not going to lose too much sleep about it.
Okay.
The point is you guys are showing up and you're starting to get it. Are you on the new platform? I know
Yeah.
you are, Tony.
Yeah,
Vicky
yeah.
and Tom, are they on the new platform?
Yes.
Is this the app?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got an iPhone, so is it on the iPhone on App Store?
Yes, the iPhone link is there now.
It's there
If
now.
you go if you go to the website, you should be able to download the iPhone link from there.
Okay, brilliant. I'll check it out.
Give me 1 second. I'll stick it in the chat.
Thank you.
Let's see.
We've done online stuff.
Yeah.
Will you be able to send the link across, Tony?
Yeah, I can do, yeah.
All right, let's stick it in the chat there.
No problem.
Okay, there we go. So if you've got an iPhone, that's the link to it.
Great.
I'll also stick it in the Project 6 group.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, that'll
Thank
do.
you.
Thank you. Sound, everyone. Have a good one.
Thank
See you
you.
next week.
Cheers.
Bye, David. Bye, Vicky. Bye, Tom.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Okay, then there was us. All right. So how do you want to split up today? Who have you got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
David, I've got half an hour till 11:30, and I've got an appointment at Project 6. I'm meeting somebody there.
Okay. So who would you like to coach today? David
Anybody
Wright,
at all.
Bruno, Branca, or Charlie? Make a choice.
How about David? I don't think have we coached before, David? We have once.
No, I don't think we have we?
No, we did have a conversation once.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Bruno, who do you want to coach?
Anyone who is there, I can coach. If I may ask, are we only concentrating on spirituality?
Whatever you want. I tell you what, why don't you coach Branca? You there still? All right. You coach Charlie, and then I'll chat with Branca when she comes back.
Excellent.
I just really wanted to say how fantastic Branca expressed herself compared to when she arrived.
Oh,
a year
it's
ago.
unbelievable, huh?
Extraordinary. And open-mindedness and willingness are two spiritual principles I see everyone here actually practicing. Charlie, Branca showing up at 7 o'clock every morning to my daily reading. Fantastic.
Oh, is that still going, David?
Sorry?
Is that still going?
The daily reading?
Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
Oh,
What is
please
it? What is it?
please tell these guys.
What is it?
So, like, for instance, comparatively, you have a primary treatment facility. In the morning, people come together and have a daily reading in they use some sort of recovery literature. We, under the Mauni umbrella organization, have a daily reading online. It's at 8 o'clock South African Standard Time every day, Monday to Sunday. And it's not coaching based, it's recovery and wellness based. So we just get together and we just talk about stuff. And we check in, we do a check-in and a check-out. That's kind of the most coaching there is. But it's, yeah, I've been very grateful to Bev and to Branca who show up because it helps me with my own facilitation skills. And it's hugely beneficial. We're all enjoying it.
So how you
What
get
time is
there,
that in
Charlie?
British time? What time is British time? Is that
It's
David?
It's 6 o'clock in the morning UK time. And
Oh,
how you get
fantastic.
there is you click this link here, community meeting.
Mhm.
Okay. And how long is it on for, David?
It's just 30 minutes. It goes
Oh,
every single day.
Oh, fantastic. I'll be there tomorrow morning.
Oh, great.
I'm in. I'm in.
Willingness, more willingness and open-mindedness.
Okay.
Oh, all right, everyone.
Great. Thanks, David.
Thank
I will
you.
see you all next week. Congratulations. And
See you on the other side, David.
okay, bye, guys.
Bye.
Mm.